Start again. Working? Yeah.
The machine is easy. Everything is on the touch panel. So, first of all, you have to know that it's also ready to start. So, if you push this push button, the machine will start to wrap the pallet.
Okay.
But before to make a wrapping cycle or a pallet wrapping, you have to know how exactly you want to regulate and adjust the field around the pallet. Because in these machines, all the machine like this, you can try to adjust the bottom rounds, then you can adjust the top rounds, then you can adjust the speed rotation and up and down speed.
Okay.
So speed rotation and up and down speed, it's something important because it's like to say how much fuel you want to put on the pallet. Because if the up and down carriage is slow, much more film you put on the pallet.
Okay.
So if you have a pallet that you want to protect a lot, you have to decrease the speed. If it's not required, you can also try to go a normal speed.
Okay.
Anyway, how to set the programs. So programs are 12. So there are 12 programs. And so you can set 12 different programs on the machine. Anyway, try to imagine that this is P1. Okay. In P1, this is P2, this is P3, and so on. So with these two, we can move one program with the other. Starting with the P1, which is a standard program. We also wrote standard speed and standard bottom rounds. Also, you can change it, but when the customer will use the machine for the first time, they can also try to use it because it's a simple program and quite common. Anyway, in that program, so anyway, go again on this. So to go inside the programs, you have to move up to this program data. So I'm moving again, it's like a menu. We were just here, manual. It means that it is like a home page. Then we go to manual operation, not now, the language, something that is a counter of cycle and so on. This is program data of program 1. It's exactly the container which inside there are the datas, the parameters of that program 1. And so just going there, sorry, not like this, it was like this with enter. So we can set, for example, 2 number of down rounds, the bottom rounds. We can set the up rounds. Then we can set the table speed, it means the rotation of this in percentage, for example, and the carriage speed. So this is the 4 basic parameters we need to adjust. Then there is another strange parameter, could be there's a starting code. It means that the carriage could start from a different code instead of 0, like to say. Usually start from the bottom, absolutely the bottom. But if you want to leave a certain part of the pallet free, for example, from the wrapping, and you can set 30 centimeters, the carriage will start wrapping only from a certain code. The code you use it. And this sometimes because everybody they want to make a very, very low wrapping because it's much short. But if you need to start from another code, for example, like 30 centimeters up from this, you can start this. Then another one is the type of cycle. Type of cycle is like this, up and down. It means that the machine makes bottom rounds, upward, top rounds, downward, and stops. So this means up and down.
Up and down,
but, you can also try to change it. Change it is only up, only down.
Only down.
I don't know it. We have to read the instruction manual because I already explained that I'm not prepared about it. And then go again, for example, to the usual up and down. Then another parameter that's quite common to adjust is the overlapping. Overlapping is something that is concerning the photocell. So try to imagine the machine is automatic. So if you change the height of the pallet, automatically the carriage will reach the height of the pallet because we have a photocell here.
Okay.
so
Yes, because of the cell.
If you change the height, automatically the photocell will see the height and stops there.
Oh, this is very.
This is the height of the photocell.
Okay.
And so, for example, the carriage goes up at this height when the photocell doesn't see the pallet anymore, so it stops in the upper position. But if you need to get 10, 20, or 30
Overlap.
centimeters
Overlap
there because you need to cover the corner, you can also decide to increase it because usually is 10 centimeters. It means 10 centimeters over.
Overlap.
If you need less, you set 0. This is the minimum. But if you can increase in 20 centimeters or 30. Of course, the coil usually is 50 centimeters high, so you don't have to exceed because the risk is to go over 50. Okay. Then there is another special method on the machine that you can set a reinforcement in the middle of the pallet. Because as we spoke, we have the bottom and the top rounds. But if you want to have the middle reinforced in the middle of the pallet,
Yes.
so the machine automatically don't recognize the middle. But you can say to the machine, if you want to reinforce at the middle, you have to say and write the data of which height you want to reinforce and how many rounds on that point. This is useful when try to imagine a pallet. This is not exactly
But
a pallet.
it will be bottles, pallet of.
Try to imagine one pallet overstuck one with the other. So in the joint of one with the other, if you want
Understand.
to put some,
Understand. Okay.
Yes,
Something like this. But this will not be used there. It's a Coca-Cola bottle.
This is another special cycle. This is like a stop of the machine in a certain point. I will try to explain it because when you have to protect the pallet, the wrapping from the rain, you can easily, in this semi-automatic machine, to put like a
cover
of polyethylene. So for example, for this, you need just 1 meter 50 by 1 meter. You can try to put it there, but if you put it before the start of the cycle, you can do it. So you will start like this. The stress film goes over the polyethylene and go on. But this is not so safe for the rain because the rain could fall on the top and can
enter
in the
between. I understand.
Okay,
Understand.
So to avoid this problem, so the best solution is to get a first hopper wrapping. Then the machine automatically stops waiting for you to go there to put the cover. And then we're pressing the start in order that the machine goes like this. Upper part of the program. So the machine stops in pause, in waiting. Put the cover, you will start again, and the carriage goes down, go up again, and go down. And so in this case, we have stress film, polyethylene and stress film. So if the rain
Impossible
goes
to
up
end
to
to
the
go
side,
between.
It's impossible because it's bright, it goes up.
Super.
So
Not sure they will use it in Liberia, but well, it's good to know.
the only things to remember that if you say on, this cycle stops with the carriage a little bit slower from the top and wait for the second start.
Yeah.
It's like a cycle with two steps.
Manually, someone must decide and put. Okay, understood.
So the cycle ends at the second start. Okay. Then there is another one that this is working with the photocell, as we said. But if the photocell doesn't work because you have like a cage, empty pallets, because photocell needs to reset. There is another problem with the mirror surfaces because photocell doesn't see the mirror because it's like a reflecting. And others with very black and dark products. So if you have a black products, the photocell doesn't.
Okay, understand.
So
will not be case.
In that way, so the machine absolutely doesn't work. And the only solution is to say photocell off.
Okay.
And you can write the height manually.
Okay.
So the carriage will stop at the height you wrote in this way. Then this is when if the other is, so it's like to say, if photocell is off, the machine will stop at 1 meter.
Okay.
Okay, and also you can change the height. The last, I think this is the last one, 13 on 13, is the film tension in percentage. Okay. Quite amazing that in that machine, so.
But I'm not scared they have already such one. Not exactly the Galaxy, but same similar brand.
The customer.
So I just wanted
It's quite common on the market.
No, yeah, I think will be no problem.
But in this machine, there is something quite important. This type of carriage, of course. What is, like to say, like an engine for a car, in this machine, it's quite important to recognize the power constraints. So the carriers, the film carriers, because film carriers are simple when you have just a roller, and you can stop the rollers. It's like friction. Okay. This is absolutely different because we have a motor on, and then there are two rollers. So anyway, I will go like this. This was concerning the programs, how to program.
Yeah.
So we have to go back in the main page, okay, and then this is the main, and we go to manual operation because I want to see you, how to.
I must film from here.
So how to? You can move manually the table and also the carriers, especially because when you have to change the coil, for example, it's much more better to have a position like this.
Yes. Better ergonomy. Okay. Okay.
So they can put the coil. So don't pay attention too much to the noise. This is just a spring.
Yeah.
With this, because we need to have a friction on the coil. So
okay.
There is a system to grip. On
understand.
The coil. So now, how to load the film. This is probably the much more complicated for the first time to do it, because this is just for one coil, so it means like for several pallets. Anyway, the best way is to take out 1.5 meter film from the
okay.
Then follow this diagram. Okay.
Okay.
And the diagram show you the way how to pass the film through the rollers. So like this.
Okay, and then coming out.
And then, when you are after the correct...
Yes, exactly like here.
After this, so it stopped because a motor moves the roller. And this is the command of the film. So you have to push this push button and together pull the film.
Ah, okay. Till you have the entire height. Voilà. Okay.
This is enough to tie to the pallet.
Okay.
I will try to have like a reset for the table and a reset for the carriage. That means that the table must start from a phase position, because usually start always in the same point. And usually the carriage will also start from the bottom point. So in this manual operation, there is a general reset, and so you can do like this, still pushing.
Mm-hmm.
So still pushing. Both movements goes to the reset position.
Okay. Ah, yes. Going down. Okay.
And only when you have a beep,
Mm-hmm. Ah, when you have the beep. Okay.
this
Then
is
you
done.
stop.
This is done.
Okay.
So that will help the customer to tie the film to the pallet. So not everybody uses this because some tie the film to the wood pallet or to the boxes. But anyway, could be this is like a spring.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do like this, for example.
Okay.
And now we can start the machine again. So we have to go again to the main one. Push start.
Mm-hmm. 2 beeps. Perfect. Going up.
Mette anche la velocità di salita e di scesa.
Per cominciare in questo caso si può aumentare, poi dipende sempre da questo è il
Programmino lì,
e questo può essere anche una macchina che sta più questo delle volte ci sono dei costi particolari. Per un bancario normale è un bancario standard, è la macchina di quel bancarino lì che costa un po' di meno perché sempre si delle particolarità. Sono un sacco di opzioni che questa macchina magari non costa, tra l'altro è una macchina uguale che però ha un quadro come quello là, c'è un display touchscreen, però non è che fa delle altre cose, fa identica.
Ok, perfetto. I shut down.